Welcome to the SOTI video series. My name is Richard Fitzsimons and I'm joined by David Easer, both of us senior principal instructors within SOTI's global training team.
That's right, and in this video we're going to spend some time exploring the different components of SOTI Connect. That's to help us build a solid understanding on how they work and they interact, and I feel this is fairly important, right Richard?
Yes, that's right. It's important to build this understanding before we can run an installation of SOTI Connect, which we'll be looking at in future videos. So, David, I can see there's two areas here. We've got SOTI Connect components and third-party components. Are we good to start with the SOTI Connect components on the left-hand side?
Absolutely, Richard. And just for reference, these are the components that will be installed or deployed using the installer, just one, okay, that you will be provided by SOTI in order to start the deployment of your system. Remembering, however, that SOTI Connect can actually be installed on the cloud, or you can also do it on-premise, up to you. So these components are proprietary of SOTI, and they will be used to do the magic that Connect knows how to do. We begin with the core components of SOTI. These are the primary elements that you need to get the whole system up and running. There's a few of them. We will be going in some detail as we show you the installation, but part of this deployment includes the deployment of the database that is going to be hosting all of the information from the printers, as well as all of the configuration that you are adding into the implementation that you have. And also, this is going to be launching and hosting your front-end web console that you will be using to provide administration tasks to your devices and also do that initial setup of your system. Just be aware, though, that the first thing it's going to ask you once your installation is complete is a license. So you have to make sure that you have one available, because otherwise you're going to get stuck, right, Richard?
That's it. And of course, speak to our SOTI sales team, your accounts team, in relation to those licenses.
Absolutely. And then we move on to a very interesting element of the solution. This is what makes the world go around with SOTI Connect, and that is the protocol adapters. There are multiple flavors. We're showing here the REST and MQTT. However, know that there's more, and as more types of printers and devices are supported, more types of protocol adapters are also being released. And this is where the magic sauce of Connect kind of relies. Is that correct, Richard?
That's right. So I suppose we could refer to these protocol adapters as translators. We're really looking at the idea that these protocol adapters will translate the way that SOTI Connect, or the core components, speak into the different protocols or communications that the devices or the third-party components use.
Absolutely. And just so you know, adding or removing protocol adapters is absolutely 100% flexible, and it depends on the type of printers that you are going to be looking to support. So you saw how in the previous list, different printers had different types of protocols supported. Well, that means that you will need to add a protocol adapter that can speak the language of those printers. As you mentioned, being a translator, it does its job. So that's really good because of the fact that, if you are not using specific types of printers, then those protocol adapters are just simply not needed. And also, if you want to add new printer types that are not currently supported in your environment, that use other types of protocol adapters from the ones that you're currently using, you don't have to change anything on the back end. The back end remains the same. This is just a bridge that you're building, a new bridge that you're building to reach to those devices and be able to speak to them. So it provides a lot of flexibility.
So that makes a lot of sense. Of course, we've got the SOTI Connect core components, connection to the database. We've got that protocol adapter dependent on the communication protocols that the devices use, or the third-party components. And if we move to the right-hand side elements, well, really what we're looking to do is get those devices that we can see on the right-hand side communicating with SOTI Connect, so that SOTI Connect can manage those devices. All those advantages we saw earlier in terms of action rules, the device visibility, automation, proactivity that can be set up monitoring those devices. But we might see that there's actually an element in the middle. These are third-party components, and you can see the term varies a little bit. We've got a server or a hub or a gateway or an agent or a conductor or a broker, many different terms here. We probably just kind of condense this in one general term, or one or two general terms, as either middleware or a gateway. What we're looking at here is a third-party element that the devices communicate with, and in turn our protocol adapter communicates with as well. So this is a key element, and it allows the communication from SOTI Connect Core to the protocol adapter through the the broker or the gateway to the devices in question. Now, in terms of the specifics about this part, please stay with us for further videos. We'll actually be working through a number of setups of these various different third-party elements, so you can see all the prerequisites and all the considerations around these.
And it's important to understand, though, that this middleware is absolutely dependent on the type of devices that you're bringing in. Every manufacturer has different requirements for external integrations of their printers with systems like, in this case, SOTI Connect, systems that enhance, that improve, that provide uniformity to managing all types of printers and devices that, are able to provide this level of communication. So it's important to note, too, though, that some of these requirements need specific versions, specific licenses with your printer. So you need to also have a good communication with your printer provider in order to understand what are going to be the implications on that end of things.
So stick with us for future videos where we'll be working through a little bit of the variation and the installation, showing those of all these different components. Now, David, just a quick question. We can see we've got the devices on the right hand side. Really that's what we're looking to communicate with. But these elements that we've talked through, in a general perspective, where can these be installed? Are they installed all on one server? Can they be distributed, or is it up to the organization?
Well, that's the beauty of SOTI Connect. I mentioned this can be a cloud system, it can be an on-prem or a hybrid system. We can help you host some of the elements of SOTI Connect. Everything can be installed in one machine if you want to, especially for environments where you may want to have a test environment, like something that is going to take away the complexity of networking elements in between printers and SOTI Connect. It's always a good idea to have one of these, by the way, and it is completely possible. But every element that you see that is kind of broken down into the different colors can potentially live on its own server. The idea is to make the communication of the printers more streamlined and efficient in order to reach the backend infrastructure of SOTI Connect. So often the protocol adapters and the middleware, broker, server, whatever it is, they tend to sometimes sit together on the same machine, but they also tend to be in closer proximity to the printers as the protocol adapter multiplexes and secures their communication from those printers over to the SOTI Connect infrastructure.
Fantastic. So hopefully you've got a bit of an overview of how these different components work, and in further videos we'll start working through the installation of SOTI Connect, look at how those protocol adapters can be added both on the same machine, but also just an idea of how they can be distributed as well, before moving to a number of examples and practical walkthroughs of those third-party components as well. Just before we finish up this particular walkthrough, David, we mentioned that there's actually a couple of other protocols that are supported. We can currently see REST and MQTT. Are there any others that are supported at this point?
Certainly, Richard. I mean, we saw the MQTT and REST. We also have the very well-known MQTT RPC, which is exclusive for Zebra printers. It's the same as MQTT, it's the same formatting with a few changes and modifications to fit and meet the considerations and needs of Zebra printers, as well as SNMP, which right now is also used for Zebra printers, but we expect this to expand and to be able to accommodate other types of devices as well.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us for this video, where we've reviewed the SOTI Connect components.
Please visit and subscribe the SOTI YouTube channel for further tutorials, and for more information about the SOTI One platform, please visit us at soti.net.